What about, this is a question we often get from leaders, what about the cynic or the pessimist on my team? I just can't overcome them. What are your thoughts? What's your advice to leaders that are dealing with negativity in the team environment?
Again, I'm going to go Dr. Phil here a second.
Okay.
What happens? What happens if you don't? Yeah. And I've heard this, Keith, you asked me a great question. Because how many leaders have I heard say, yeah, Kirk, these are some good ideas and everything, but you don't know the kind of people I've got on my team.
Right.
Darth Vader, baby Hitler. I mean, my team, I got Captain Cynic over there and Susie Sarcastic. They're all on my team. And you don't know the kind of team I have. And, well, again, think about this for a second. What we're finding is leaders that really are willing to lead with that statement, they say that they really resent, that they would be better leaders if, and they're going to be leaders when they don't have those kind of people on their team. So they're kind of carefully hiding behind it. Yeah. They're actually using these people as scapegoats, and because of someone, they're not really leading anyone.
Right.
So everyone gets robbed because of someone, and we say to leaders, hey, listen, that cynic, they didn't wake up this morning and say, I'm the team cynic. In fact, the cynic doesn't call themselves a cynic. Mm-hmm. The cynic calls themselves a realist. And the realist is actually using the very language that the leader should adopt to use with them to move forward with positive change. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So the realist says, I call it like I said, I tell it like it is. So you sit down, you be the realist, and I'll say, hey, Keith, I want to implement some change in the team meeting and stuff like that. They're not the kind of thing that you're going to like. But I've always come to respect that you kind of call it like you see it. You kind of tell it like it is. Mm-hmm. Remember Keith the cynic?
Well, I've actually been called that before.
Okay, well, there it is. So it's very natural.
Just talk to my wife.
So then I say, well, Keith, so I'm going to call it like I said. I'm going to tell it like it is.
Right.
What we're going to do at our next staff meeting is not going to be your cup of tea. It's not going to be something you like or you think really has value based on my past experience with you. Your tendency in these situations is to roll your eyes and poo-poo. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to come to an agreement with you. I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm going to do this activity. I'm going to totally excuse you from participating in the activity. I'll respect your right to not participate in the activity if you'll respect me as a leader to lead the activity. And what I mean by respect is without making one of your famous comments or your famous eye rolls. Can we have that agreement?
Yes.
Boom. Now you might say, well, God, he was a little bit too agreeable. No, but the thing is, he didn't agree to something. I didn't ask him for something that I didn't give him something first. I said, hey, I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to respect your decision not to participate if you respect my decision to lead the activity without one of your famous comments. And I was very specific. I wasn't condescending. I wasn't demeaning. I wasn't dismissive. I wasn't derogatory. In other words, it was a respectful conversation had in the language of the realist. And so we came to agreement. Boom, done. I'll hold him accountable to that agreement, and he'll be happy to be held accountable. What we hear from leaders that we use this type of coaching with is this. Very quickly, almost even in that very meeting, guess who chooses to participate? As soon as you tell them they don't have to.
The realist.
Yeah, they play along, as they said. And then if you will, again, harness the power of traditions and rituals, by the 5th or 6th or 7th time you're having this type of meeting or event, they're fully engaged. And then pretty soon they're leading the event itself.
Very good. Well, Kurt, thank you so much. Your energy is great, your wisdom, your insight. I know the folks here at CalPERS took a lot away, and thank you for spending some time with us.
Well, thank you, Continuity Consulting, where you know that culture counts, and I love being a part of your event. Thanks much.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.